Hey everybody, it's Rabbit, and today we're going to be going through a game with the M1A1 AIM. This is the squadron vehicle for USA. It's an M1A1 from the Australian military. The big change that this has over a normal Abrams over the normal M1A1 is that this has Gen 2 thermals instead of Gen 1 thermals. And a worse top round, but not significantly worse. You actually see out of the course of this game, the top round works perfectly fine against basically anything. One thing that does kind of come up, you'll notice our ammo. We're carrying 18 rounds of ammo. So the reason you're carrying 18 is because there are 17 in the bustle rack, and then you have one in the chamber. We have 3 heat rounds because occasionally I do find situations where I need them. But usually I don't use the heat rounds as much. Spoiler, I do actually end up needing them this game. So right now, we're wrapping around to the side. So this map in particular, it's kind of a trap to go to point, because if you go straight to point, you run a strong risk of getting cut off by people going through the middle, or just getting shot in the back by people going up here. So yeah, here, kind of like, I spot this enemy, but like my teammates just kind of screwing around with them, so I'm like, whatever. But if you just go straight to point, you run the risk of getting shot from the middle or having people come in from behind you. Obviously, I'm not really a fan of either of those outcomes, so I'm like, we'll go try to cut off, like, we'll secure this area, get map control at the top, and then try to push over to their spawn and try to cut off reinforcements. And if our team is not doing well on point, then we wrap around to try to help point, right? Like, but the first priority is we want to make sure that we're not getting flanked. And here, I actually thought the enemy would be moving more aggressively than they were, and I'm like, the enemy don't really appear to be doing much, but, you know, screw it. Let's check it out. Let's see what's happening. So, moving around. And it's like, oh, well, my teammate's definitely engaging somebody over here. Let's check it out. And this shot is awful, by the way. Like, I was going for his driver's port, just barely missed it. Obviously, like, Russian tanks don't have breaches either, so I hit directly next to the breach, just doesn't do anything because, you know, it's a Russian tank. But we managed to catch him right underneath the ERA on that side, and we managed to kill the remainder of his crew. And no idea how that one, like, our teammate had to have killed one of his crew because there's no way that should have killed him. So, but a little bit, I actually thought that was a turn, so that was just me being dumb. But yeah, our teammate did help us out. He got one of the crew on both of them, so we only had to get the other 2 crew. So now we're at 2 kills. You know, works pretty well. Oh, I had some random damage that I was fixing. I don't even know what it was, but I was like, just to get the notification off my screen, I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. And here, instead of going straight out, we're actually doing a hard wrap. And the obvious reason we're doing hard wrap is because we want to minimize the chance of a front-on-front engagement. I think it was Sun Tzu who said if you want to win fights, don't take them fairly. So, taking this as unfairly as possible. We're going up here. We're just going to drop off. And then we're going to drop down. So, now we are north of their spawn, and we're effectively acting as cutoff. Our team's doing good enough on point. We do see our teammate dies. We're like, not super worried about that right now. You know, something to definitely be aware of, but like we don't actually need that position. We're just trying to act as cutoff for the spawn. So move it up, see what we can see. And I believe, is this where the T-72B3 gets spotted? I think this is. I'm trying to have enough vision around the spawn that I can see if somebody's moving. I think this is where I see the T-72B3 get spotted. Or is it? I think it takes me a second to realize that, like, I'm actually not in a good position to see their spawn. Or to see the routes from their spawn. So I'm like, move up a little. Because our teammates are hung up on a T-72B3, so it's like camping the spawn is lower priority than helping our teammates. So let's go ahead and knock that guy out. Like, camping the spawn is cute, but at the end of the day, if our teammates are stuck on something, we would rather help them out with that. Oh yeah, this is where I see this Tor. And I'm like, oh, that is their spawn. That guy's spawn protected. Roger, got it. Probably not the best idea to keep shooting at that. Where I see this guy, 2S3M, 2S25M. Easy kill. And of course, giant freaking missile from the Tor go up. So it's like, that's definitely a Tor. Also, the Tor is like the size of a house, so like you can't miss the stupid thing. But you notice what we're doing here is we're using the Abrams like reverse speed and forward speed and good acceleration to just kind of use the hill, you know, use the third person to look and just go back and forth, right? Like I'm not staying still because if somebody's looking at me... Did I see that guy? I don't think I did. Like, I'm trying to not stay still because if somebody's looking at me that I don't immediately see, I don't want to get taken out by that. This is where I don't actually know what's shooting at me there. Like, at first I thought it was an anti-air. I didn't realize it was a T-72M2. Because of, obviously, the autocannon. But, you know, we're not peeking the same angle, so easy enough. And, like, that's, like, part of the trick, obviously. That guy fired way too early. I don't know what he was doing. Fuel exploded. Interesting. But yeah, that guy, I don't know what he was shooting at. So we're at 7 kills so far. We're down to 4 rounds of APFSDS, 3 rounds of heat. Remember that because we do actually... That does become an issue at one point. Not gonna lie. Terms decides to shoot me. Shoots a little too wrong. I'm like, where the hell is this guy? Oh, there he is. Easy. Put out the fire, start repairing. I was like, where the hell is this guy? It's like, oh, he's right there. But again, that's part of the reason why you keep moving. Because, like, if you don't see somebody and they see you, and you're constantly moving, the likelihood that they'll get a good shot off is lower. On the other hand, if you're just, like, stationary, just scoped at, like, easy clap. So... That's part of the reason why, like, it's like a Call of Duty thing. Like, back from my days in Call of Duty, like, I would... You kind of twitch a bit even when you're aiming down a sight line, just so you're not, like, as easy of a target. Like, you kind of vibrate back and forth or up and down a little, just so you're not, like, a super easy target for somebody. And I'm like, alright, we're repaired. What we got? Up to currently 8 kills. And we are completely out of APFSDS rounds, which is amazing. It was at this point I realized that all I had was heat FS. Like, that shot, I was like, all I have are heat FS rounds. I really hope what fights me now is not like a T-72 or T-80 BVM. Because if it's a BVM, I can't kill it. But then I'm like, oh, it's a BMP-2M. Well, we managed to kill him with the heat FS, because that's one thing the heat FS can do. Rotate ourselves back behind the corner with our one good track. We are now at 10 kills. We have enough spawn points for a nuke, but... Right, like... We could try to spawn it, but, like, the game is over. There's no way we're actually going to drop it. And besides, I'm not particularly interested in losing my vehicle. So, yeah, this is a spoiler. This is our last kill for the game. 10 kills, 0 deaths, 2,800 score, M1 aim. Yeah, it's a... I mean, the Abrams is just a pretty good tank in general. The aim, it doesn't do anything special, but it doesn't do anything wrong either. So, hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day, everybody.